Hello everyone, we're back again with another video. Today we're looking at mental health and the benefits that can come from fishing. It's actually been well proven over the years that fishing can have a really good effect on your mental health, regardless of the issue that you have, and spending time in nature as well. There's been an advert recently in the UK which has a doctor sitting at a desk, and she said, I'm going to prescribe you a dose of nature. And as the camera zooms out, they're in a nice woodland setting, and the nature can have a big impact on our overall mental health. Now, it's all well and good just going for a little stroll, but the human brain is constantly active, whether we're thinking about work, friends, family, relationships. Maybe we're dwelling on the past, or maybe we're worried about something in the future. And it's very difficult to switch that mind off. In regards to worrying about the future, a wise man once said to me, if you are worried about something in the future, if there's something you can do about it, then do it. If not, then don't worry about it. And I found many a time during work, I may have been worried about something in the future, only by the time it comes round, things have changed and it's actually no longer a problem. But it's easier said than done. It always needs constant work. One of the important aspects is mindfulness, and really being in the moment and taking in what's around you. That's the best way to benefit from nature. For example, if I spin the camera around, even something very simple like walking past a tree. Just a tree, easy to walk past, but have a closer look. As we approach, you can see that there's a bit of trunk damage down the bottom here. Lots of moss as well, so even though we're in winter, still plenty of life on it. And when we come in really close, see all this tiny mycelium taking effect, all these mushrooms, all this detail. And when you're focused on things like this, it obviously stops your mind active and wandering onto other things. So sometimes it really is just a case of having a look at the details. There's all sorts of things around. Maybe the change in the colours of the leaves. Still some going through autumn time. Now for me, I was diagnosed with depression back in 2011, although realistically my first episode was probably back in about 2000-ish, when I was about 18. What I suffer from is a periodic depression. It comes every 4 months, typically April, August and December. And regardless of things that are going on in my life and external factors, the depression slowly starts to creep in. Now, I used to fish when I was younger, and I stopped in about 2003. And I started again last year in 2023. So I had a long time away from the bank. But I knew that it might be something that would benefit me from my mental health issues. So I started fishing again. Been fishing for about just over a year now. And I have certainly noticed the benefits from it. And it also helps reduce overall stress levels as well. Because in the last few years I've been diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is an irritable bowel disorder. And one of the big triggers for that is stress. So having the ability to go fishing and reduce depression and limit stress as well is hugely advantageous for me. One of the things I quite often find is that I'll struggle to sit still. I like being active, I like moving around. If I go for a walk, I generally walk quite fast. And fishing really helps ground me. You set up, you're in a swim, you sit down, and for a good several hours at a time, normally a fishing session for 4 or 5 hours, and I just find it grounds me where I can sit there, take it all in, and that really does have a huge impact. If you're fortunate enough where you could just pull up a chair and sit somewhere quite happily, reading a book or just enjoying what's going on around you, then great, but I need something to sort of tie me down. There's also been days where I go fishing and I haven't caught anything, and yet on my way home I think to myself, I've still actually had a thoroughly enjoyable time. I sat there just enjoying it. I'll bring some food and a flask of coffee, have a little picnic and just soak it all in. Even that alone can be such a huge advantage. And of course, catching a few fish here and there is always a nice added bonus. One of the fish I've caught today, absolutely stunning fish, beautiful to look at. You'll see that in good time as well. So if you are considering taking up the sport, or maybe even something similar, I can highly recommend your dose of nature for your mental health, stress and general well-being. So let's get back to the swim. I brought the rod in momentarily just to record this little piece, but let's get back to the swim, see if we can catch some more. An update on the Drennan method feeder then. I mentioned before that I was going to try and get a baiting needle, and I've got one of these Gardener stringer needles. They're nice and long. I did need to crimp down the end a little bit to make sure it goes through the feeder. As you can see now, it goes through nicely and you can pull that loop through. Now that helps obviously with a quick change feeder style, because now I can just unhook the loop from the quick connector and put that through and pull the line through and put on a different size feeder. It also means I've been able to put some rig tubing on. This is some tungsten tubing to help pin the line to the bottom. So now I'll just wrap that around the reel because it actually goes through the eyes on the rod. So now I'm just going to put that through the feeder of choice. I'm going for the 25 gram large today. I'm going to hook that onto the loop and I'm just going to pull that through the feeder out the other end, and there we go. And then I can slide the tail rubber on over top and we can just pull that tubing back down into there, into the end of the tail rubber. I did trim that slightly just so it would fit in. There we go. And that's it. And then I can put on my quick connector, put on the hook link, and I'm ready to go. Nice and easy. Well, we're into our first fish of the day. It was a very subtle bite. I think it might be one of the smaller F1s. Look, dink, 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 and then off it went. I'm not sure about the rig tubing, because it certainly did affect casting out. It is a smaller F1. It's alright though, good start to the day. That's still the first cast. Don't swim under the net. There you go. Beautiful. Lovely jubbly, we're off. I have wet the mat already, but I'll give it another good soaking. And that's it, first fish of the day on the trusty old rigged and ready X5 Max Adventure. What a lovely looking fish. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? There's a bit of blood there, I'm going to clean that up. Looks like it's got a bit of a dead eye as well. There we go. First one of the day. Nice little F1. Right, let's get you back in. See what else we can catch. Big thank you to all the subscribers recently. As of recording this, early December, we're over 80 subscribers already. And one of my videos has just gone over 500 views, which is phenomenal. So big thank you there. And obviously if you are new to the channel, there's a few videos to check out. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And then you'll see more content just like this. Well, we're into another fish. It was all sitting very quiet. Oh, it looks a good one too. Looks very nice. Certainly felt like quite a lump when I hit into it. Not seeing much fish activity today, not like there normally is, but then it is getting colder. That water temperatures really has dropped. Oof. Yeah, it's a very nice fish. Oh, blimey. Right, let's have a look at this one then. This one's all lively now, it's on the bank. Right, that gets the hook out. Oh, that's interesting. There's another hook here. Looks like the fish had another hook in it. Let's get you sorted out, shall we? That's probably why it's quite lively on the bank. There's a looks like a pole rig or something. I'll discard of that in a moment. This is an absolutely gorgeous fish. Absolutely stunning. Just weighed it and it's gone 9.5 pounds. Look at that. Isn't that absolutely stunning? Gorgeous. Pristine, well, it's a bit of damage to the dorsal fin, but overall a really good looking fish. Right, let's get this one back in. There you go, Minnie. We are into another fish. My goodness me. What a lump this felt when I struck into it. It hadn't even been out very long. Probably only about 5 minutes. Got it close to that far bank. Couple of little shudders and then it whipped around. Well, it's definitely a carp. Just hung me nets up a little bit as well. Thought I might dry them out. I wasn't sure how much longer I'll be staying. Oh, it's a common carp. Common carp always seems to fight harder than mirrors. Good looking fish. And we're in. Marvellous. Right, let's get that mat back down. Get it all wet again. Gorgeous looking common carp. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. What a beautiful fish. Like I said, only a couple of minutes for that one to rip off. Right, let's get you back in there, matey. Let's watch this one go back in. There we go. And he's gone. I think it's another one of the small F1s. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Didn't take very long though. I made some changes to the rig. Shortened the tubing down a lot because it really was having an impact on the casting. Go on. There we go. Let's slip that one back in. Go. I hope you enjoyed this little mental health awareness video. Caught a few fish today as well, which is always nice. And I will see you in the next one.